It's all said and done. All right, Coco, we got a lot going on here today. We got a little bit of politics, right? So essentially here in Texas, they're going to put a new law in place where kids are not going to be able to use cell phones in the classroom.
You know, I'm old enough. We didn't even have cell phones.
You see what I'm saying? Like, I'm okay with this one. You know what I mean? Like,
I'm not okay anymore with it. If I had a child that was still in high school, I don't think I'd be okay with it.
I mean, especially when now things happening, school shootings and things like that.
Threats.
So I see both sides of this one, but then also too, they might be distracted while they're in class trying to learn chemistry. All right, we'll see. We'll talk about it. And then what else? We got the SaberCats. The rugby team.
Yes, they are battling.
The rugby team.
Yes, we've had a rugby team here for some years, and they're battling. They're going to the championship game for the very first time this Saturday. There's a watch party and all kind of stuff. Locally, they're not going to be playing here. They're in Pawtucket, which I thought that was Nantucket's sister. I didn't even know where that was. It's in Rhode Island.
Either, all right, so we'll talk about the SaberCats.
Yeah, for sure. And then celebrating Beyonce. She's in town later this week. We've got some good food and some boots. But right now, let's take it over to JD. He is in the Weather Center watching what's going on.
Hey guys, it's one of those things where we've been looking at this tower cam for quite a while, and there's been nothing but some dry pavement. But just within the last probably 6 minutes, you can see that this particular isolated shower has started to move in. And this is pretty much what we've been dealing with today, right? Most of the time, you're not seeing some rain, at least in the downtown Houston area. And then you get a little bit of those isolated storms kind of rolling on through. So this one doesn't have a whole lot of lightning or thunder in it, but it does definitely have a bit of a downpour here or there, and kind of messing with our commutes just a little bit overall, I would think, for sure. We got a little southeast wind around 7 miles an hour. That'll vary a little bit when you're closer into some of these showers and some storms. So overall, we're still looking at those scattered storms today. This applies again for tomorrow. When we get into Friday, I get to drop the rain chances just a little bit, but when we kind of get back into the weekend, I got to bump them back up again. And for those of you keeping up with the tropics, Andrea is gone, no longer with us. It is post-tropical, so not lasting very long as far as our first named storm in the Atlantic. So you can see that we've got some stronger storms up in the northern parts of our viewing area. Over in the Fort Bend County, we have some, and just a little bit of activity happening in the downtown Houston area. Along the coast, we've got some of the lighter showers. We can see those storms that have kind of moved through Sugar Land, moving kind of up towards the Katy area. Bryan College Station has seen some rain, and the western edges of Walker County also seeing some of those downpours right now. As far as accumulation, though, all of this has been very manageable. We've had some isolated pockets close to 1.5 inches, but for most of us, this green shading indicates 1 inch or less, and that's kind of what we've been enjoying. Some of these areas closer to 1 inch, and we've got a few spots. We talked about Walker County a minute ago, maybe over 1 inch, and for sure over near College Station there, definitely over 1.5 inches, closer to 2 inches. That's all radar estimated rainfall totals, of course, and we'll continue to kind of keep an eye on those numbers as it rains more. But what we've definitely been able to enjoy are the temperatures, because all the clouds and those scattered storms have really kept our highs down quite a bit lower. So right now, downtown Houston recording 77 degrees. That's 11 inches cooler than this same time yesterday. Pearland's at 9 degrees cooler. Not inches, but degrees. And then we're also looking at a couple isolated spots there that might have had more showers yesterday than today, kind of switching a little bit. Futurecast shows those scattered storms clearing out. It's sort of driven by our daytime heating. So once our sun sets, we're going to lose most of the rain overall. But then we get right back into it again tomorrow. We get into the morning hours. We begin to see some of that rain forming again. Total accumulation, though, should be fairly manageable. This is a 5-day forecast where we're definitely looking at some spots getting over 2 inches. But as I mentioned, for the most part, all that going to be what we can handle. It's not going to be severe weather. It's not going to be something that is flooding weather as well. So here's that 7-day forecast. I mentioned we're definitely going to keep some scattered showers across the area and storms, downpours again for tomorrow. I'm going to put those rain chances only about 20% on Friday, and then we're boosting them back up again for the weekend. As we start next week, we'll be warmer. It will also be drier overall, less rain. But we'll have to see what happens when we get to the extended forecast just a little bit. And remember, I'll have that full tropical update for you coming up in just a few minutes.
All right, JD, thanks a lot, my man. Now let's go to Dallas, where we're going to get some more information here from Lori Brown. So school districts all across Texas are going to be making their plans after state lawmakers decided that students can no longer have those cell phones in the classroom. Here's Lori Brown now with a look at some reaction to those changes.
I only have TikTok, but it is like really drawing because it's like video after video after video. And it's like sometimes I'll tell myself like, okay, at 11:30 I'll get off, and then it's like 11:40 and I'm like, okay, 10 more minutes, and it's kind of addicting.
Isabella Cortez and Piper Freeman just completed 8th grade at Dallas ISD's Robert T. Hill Junior High. The school was the first in North Texas to start using Yonder pouches, magnetic locking devices that allow students to keep their phones with them. Richardson ISD soon followed at Forest Meadow Junior High, providing us this video.
It just made a lot of people mad about it because they couldn't have their phones.
Piper said the pouches, when enforced, help.
It can be really distracting when you see other kids on their phones in class.
Dallas ISD did not have a district-wide cell phone ban in the last school year. Piper's mom, Megan Freeman, says the new state law is needed.
I love it personally. I think that our school, or I guess maybe DISD or some of the schools that had already had this rule in place were villainized because of it. And, you know, maybe you don't want to go to that school because they have that no cell phone ban there.
The new law does not require locking devices, but it does require that phones are secured away from students in some way. Freeman says she can understand why some parents have concerns.
I also have had that frustration where I'm like, oh man, I wish I could text my son and let him know this thing, or I wish I could text Piper and let her know this thing. So really what it's caused me to do is reevaluate my own communication with my children. I have to be a little bit more proactive with that, or I message the teachers.
As for emergencies, Yonder says law enforcement experts urge students to stay off their phones and quietly follow instructions. Classrooms also have desk phones for 911 calls. Freeman says her son, now in high school, has better social skills thanks to the cell phone-free lunch environment at Hill Junior High.
He said, Mom, you can tell the kids who haven't had Yonder pouches because at lunch, all of us Highlanders, we're talking. And we're visiting with each other, and everybody else is like this on their phone. He said they don't know how to communicate.
Bryan Adams High now also has Yonder pouches. Freeman, vice president of the PTA, says it caused a large drop in fights.
We don't have things starting by somebody said something and they're texting somebody else that causes some sort of issue, or somebody's taking a picture, or somebody's videoing some sort of something that they're going to send to somebody else, and then it causes an issue later. We just don't have that problem anymore.
All right, it is one of the most popular areas this summer and every summer. If you're planning on going to San Marcos, be ready for some changes that are coming to the parking for one of its popular areas. Jenna King has the details.
Summer is officially underway, and you can already tell by the big crowds here at the San Marcos River, but big changes are coming. Starting this week, folks will have to pay to park if they are non-residents to enjoy the San Marcos River. The San Marcos River, a go-to summer escape for tubing, swimming, and beating the Texas heat. But starting July 1st, visitors from outside the San Marcos city limits will have to pay to park. The city is rolling out paid parking for non-residents at City Park, a popular entry point to the San Marcos River.
Our park ambassadors would staff the access points. We will not staff those access points traditionally Monday through Thursday.
The city says the change is part of an ongoing effort to maintain and support park resources, pointing out that non-residents don't pay property taxes to San Marcos, a major funding source for local governments. Some people are on board with the move.
A very large percentage of the people that come here don't spend money here, like restaurants, grocery stores, hotels, things like that. And the city, they want to put more money into the parks. And so the pay parking is designed to infuse money into the park system.
But others are against it.
I feel like it's probably going to discourage people from out of town coming here. Because everything's so expensive these days. You know, you got dinner, a lot of people have families that they need to worry about and stuff. And it's just like an extra challenge to go through in order to be able to do this and have fun.
According to the city, 2024 summer season saw the largest crowds. The city says 70% of Weekend Front Parks patrons are from out of town, primarily Houston, San Antonio, Dallas, and Austin.
It would definitely mean I wouldn't be coming here as often, especially depending on the pricing of it.
The city says residents will need to register their vehicles online. Providing proof of residency will be required to complete registration. Up to 5 cars can be registered per address. As for non-residents, fees start at $5 an hour but range up to $25 an hour for special events and holidays. The fees begin July 1st. For more information on where you can register your car, we'll have that all on our website, fox7austin.com. Reporting in San Marcos, Jenna King, Fox 7 Austin News.
All right, the Houston SaberCats, our rugby team.
The rugby team.
They're on a quest to win their very first championship game in franchise history, and the team is getting plenty of buzz. As I found out yesterday, I talked to a couple of the captains. For the first time in franchise history, the Houston SaberCats are going to the Major League Rugby Championship game happening this Saturday. What a big deal. The fans have been with them from the beginning, and today I got a chance to catch up with a couple of the captains.
It's massive. I think 4 years in a row making the playoffs, but this is the first time really going up to the top now, going to the championship game. And yeah, it's big for the city of Houston and our fans here at the SaberCats Stadium, coming out for 4 years, supporting us. We've been packing the stadium out, and yeah, just being able to give them something to watch, and just us as a group being there, I mean, together for 3 more weeks. We're a big family and enjoy spending time around each other.
It's one thing to make it, but at the end of the day, you don't want to just, like you said, be there to be there. You want to go there, you want to win it. So that's what we're going there to do.
The SaberCats are playing the New England Free Jacks, back-to-back champions these last 2 years. How will they approach the game?
Every game this last 3 or 4 rounds that we've been really good. We've just focused on what we do best, and going into the championship game, that's what we're going to have to do. Both of us play a similar kind of game, so I think we're just going to have to stick to our guns and do what we do best.
It's pretty obvious the last 2 or 3 years have been probably the team to beat, winning back-to-back championships. I think one thing they've done is they've retained a similar squad for multiple years now, but in saying that, they have a great kicking game, great set piece, so we know we need to nullify those things in order to get the win.
The 2025 SaberCats playoff campaign has been everything earned. They told me what this means to them.
It can be sort of individual in a sense that you put in all this hard work throughout the year, but it sort of ties into everyone. We're all here, like Momsen said, we're a family. As you can tell, especially this time of year, it's very hot and everything like that. So there's a hell of a lot of effort that goes in from staff, players, behind the scenes, people. Everyone's putting in a hell of a lot of effort, all trying to achieve the same thing. So, and we know that nothing's given. Like Momsen said, we could have gone home 2 weeks ago, but we'll just be really taking it week for week and really giving it our all out there.
Yeah, I think I'll jump on that and say we've had ups and downs this season. We've had some terrible losses and we've had some really good wins, but we've learned through all of our set downs or setbacks, and yeah, look where we're at now. So we're really just enjoying being here together.
Rugby's popularity is on the rise, so what's the best advice for those young athletes?
In terms of sport, for me, what worked for me is I just played every sport I could growing up. I just didn't focus on just one. You learn a lot of life skills doing sport, learning to work with different kinds of people, and doing all sports you develop all kinds of skills, and then you can choose which sport is your favorite one. But if it's rugby, come out and play and enjoy it. It's a really great game.
A great game and a tough game nonetheless. That includes lots of bumps and bruises that you have to play with.
I think adrenaline plays a big part of it. As soon as you get on the field, you forget about all your bumps and bruises. Unfortunately, some guys do get some bigger injuries, but scrapes and cuts and bruises is nothing, and yeah, you're just gonna have to fight through it again for the guy next to you, because everyone is carrying something. It's been a long season and we've fought really hard to get here, so just put it in the back of your mind and go ahead.
Going into the biggest game of the season, they're not just playing for themselves, but for their injured teammates as well.
That does play heavy on a lot of us, and we are out there representing those guys, because at the end of the day, they would love to be out there with us. So that is important. I think this weekend they get an opportunity to come out to Pawtucket, so that's going to be good for them. But like you said, we are sort of playing for them as well.
And what do they say to those die-hard rugby fans who have been with them from the start?
We love our fans. We've got some really, really die-hard fans, like you said, the Saber Bros and the the Islanders, the South Africans, and just a bunch of people that tailgate and they feed us after the games. And we've formed a bond with them. I think rugby, we love dealing with our fans. We love going out and having drinks with them, and so it's even bigger family. So we love having them with us, and I'm sure there'll be quite a lot of them out there with us in Pawtucket, in Rhode Island, and yeah, it's just great to have them there with us and giving them another opportunity to support us.
Any lucky pieces? Anything that you're taking with you? Superstitions?
Yeah, no, I'm not really superstitious. I don't know.
Just the same pair of underwear every time.
Oh, there you go.
Game time is 1 p.m. live from Pawtucket, Rhode Island, but you can watch the game right here. There's a huge watch party on Washington Avenue at Platypus Brewing that will kick off a little bit before at 12:30 with a live DJ. So join the entire the bros, the SaberCat bros, to watch the Cats hopefully bring this championship home. I'm Coco Dominguez reporting. It's Fox 26 News. Good luck, guys.
Did he say he was wearing the same drawers?
Hey, it is what it is. Those are his lucky draws.
Oh, my goodness. All right, Coco, it's a big week here in H-Town. Queen Bee, Beyonce, she's returning home for 2 concerts here this weekend, Saturday and Sunday. And if you're on social media, you might have seen this beautiful mural that went up. And we have got the artists in studio now to talk about it. We are now being joined by Devonna Stimpson. Devonna, welcome.
Welcome. Congratulations.
Yes, for sure.
Your Beyonce looks like Beyonce.
It really
Beyonce,
does.
You know?
I hope it does, because that beehive I know would come for me if it didn't look like
Beyonce.
Beyonce.
She's beautiful. So to capture her beauty the way you did, hands down, really, really nice.
All right, walk us through the process. Like, how did you even come up with that picture to do, and what was the inspiration behind all of it?
Yeah, so it literally just started from me originally painting my first Beyonce mural. I have another one that's in 5th Ward, and the social media post around that went viral, and the owner of Grooves reached out, wanted a Beyonce mural too. She already had one on her wall, but she wanted one that really looked more recognizable, so
there she is right here. And this is the one at Grooves.
Yeah,
right
this is the one at Grooves that I just finished, and it really just starts with finding the reference photo, and I loved this photo of her, and we wanted it to say "From Houston with Love." I felt like her pose on her face, you know, with a kissy face, matched the vibe of the quote, and everything else kind of just laid out afterwards.
It's so great. How long did it take you to do this?
It took me 58 hours over 10 days.
58 hours over 10 days.
Yes, so I always document when I
absolutely
work on the mural.
And so you do this for a living. This is what you do.
Yes, this is what I do full time. Mm-hmm.
Okay, in what capacity? So you do murals. What else do you do?
Yeah, so I do murals. I do artworks on canvas, other commissions, installations. I do content creation as well. With like doing brand collaborations too. So
okay, what are we looking at right here?
Yeah, some more of your work, right?
Yeah, so this is actually a couple murals that I did that's on the apartment complex in Willowbrook. So this is 2 of 5 that are on the exterior of it.
Wow. Yeah, and how do you, like, inspiration wise for all of this stuff, like, is it driven from like the client you're working with, or you kind of have that autonomy to just decide whatever you like, you go with?
Yeah, so it varies. Usually they have something that they want, and then they hire me because they like my style. So I get to kind of fuse my style and what I see that best fits for the creative brief and the project itself along the lines of what they're asking for.
All right, and have you met Beyonce? Are you a big Beyonce fan?
I have not met her, but her publicist saw my first Beyonce mural. I'm pretty sure she probably saw this one, so I don't know. She might stop.
Hey, those are the same eyes. So if your publicist saw Beyonce,
I mean, we'll see.
Now.
Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed.
No, how proud are you of that mural though, the one that you did with Beyonce? Because that really blew me away. In all honesty, I've seen a lot of murals, but you really did your big one on that one.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Yeah, I am so proud of myself. Actually, my husband helped me with that mural and helped do a lot of the color fills while I worked on all the realism and all the details. So it was like a team effort. Yeah. But the response from the community has been so awesome. There's so much content, so many posts being posted. I have a 6-part series showing like the legit behind the scenes from a blank wall to creation. So if anybody wants to see how it was created, they can check that out on my profile. But
on your Instagram?
Yeah, Instagram and TikTok.
What's the give it to them? What's the Instagram?
It's at Devonna Stimpson, so my first and last name.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow, that's amazing. I say Beyonce might have to, track you down.
You got
and
to,
say
man.
thank you.
I got one more
I'm
question
here.
though. Like when you were doing the mural, you talk about the response from the community now, but like were people coming up to you when you're there for 10 days, 58 hours, and
that's the funny part. Like when I'm working on a mural, people were wanting to take pictures with it. I'm like, no, it's not done. And they're like, I see it. I still want it. Nobody's gonna have this picture, so I'm gonna take this picture. I'm like, okay. Like as each part was, was getting completed and filled in, like they were getting more and more excited.
Are you going to the shows at all?
I'm not. No.
Not yet.
Not yet.
It's coming. It's coming. We're gonna be.
If anybody wants to give me some tickets.
Absolutely. Congratulations. Beautiful, beautiful.
Yeah,
Thank you so much. Thank you.
All right, we got to take a quick commercial break, and when we come back, we're going to take a look at that forecast for you.
All right, welcome back. It's time for your tropical update. I'm Fox 26 meteorologist John Dawson. Love this opportunity because we really get to dive into things a little bit more and discuss what's going on that I just don't have the time during a normal newscast to do that. And if you've been keeping score at home, you'll know that we had our first named storm in the Atlantic form yesterday. And it was also yesterday when it went away. It was a very quick little blip on the radar, or on the satellite would be more accurate to say. And yeah, really not even able to make it out anymore in the Atlantic. It was a very short-lived Andrea. And so that first name we've been kind of waiting for, able to check that off the list that we could kind of move on with our next business. And there's not a lot of business right now. As a matter of fact, the Atlantic Basin continues to remain very quiet. It was very unusual to kind of have this storm form right in the middle of the Atlantic. For this time of the year, that's unusual. And again, for it to be such short-lived, but it is pretty close to when we would expect to see that first named storm. If you look at the last 30 years, that first named storm typically forms around June the 20th. So, you know, it was maybe 3 or 4 days off from those averages. But overall, again, that's kind of a quiet start to the season is what's expected. And that's certainly what we've had, and we're going to be a little bit quieter for a while as well. And we're going to dive into some of that in just a moment. I do want to mention, though, over in the Pacific, the Eastern Pacific, that has not been quiet, continuing to show some possibilities for further development. The National Hurricane Center identifying this large area as a possible formation, 80% chance in the next 7 days that could happen. So we don't focus always a whole lot on the eastern side of things, but that's Eastern Pacific, but that's kind of what we were looking for. So as I mentioned, Andrea is the first named storm so far. We kind of been waiting for that. We could check that one off the list. It was a tropical storm strength. Next name that we'll be looking for is Barry. So Barry's the next name that we're going to be looking for on our list. And again, hopefully we'll sort of slowly progress. We don't need to go through these too quickly. So here's again kind of that interesting developments that I was talking about. In June, typically this is the area where we see tropical storms form. Now, it's not an impact area. It's not like a track where they're going, but it's where they first are created, where they're first form at. This would be the areas that we're looking at. So again, to have something form in the middle of the Atlantic is a bit unusual for that to be taking place. And again, that's something just kind of noting of where we are at the season. So on the topic though of formation, we're already kind of beginning to wrap up June. I know I want to get out of here too quick, but as we start looking ahead to July a little bit more, you'll notice that we start extending out a little bit more some favorite areas of development. Again, this is not impacts. This is not a track. This is where they first develop, where they first form, and out into the western portions of the Atlantic, over into the Caribbean, become a little bit more of a spot to watch. And then definitely we've got an area in the Atlantic off of the East Coast, this oranger shading representing a little more likely even to see that. That's certainly an area that's probable for July development. But again, overall, we don't see a lot of development in June or July. And when we look at the history, this goes all the way back to 1851. So we're just plotting what we know of. Obviously, we didn't know about everything happening in 1900, but what we know of keeps those activities fairly low through June and through July. We get into August and things really begin to ramp up. So we won't expect for a lot of development to happening in June or in July, but we'll be watching for a little bit more. Here's something that it's, again, typical, keeps us quiet in the early parts of the season, and that's that very active Saharan dust. When we get into August, this sort of quiets down a little bit. That helps to allow that activity to kick up. So just as normal as we would expect, we've got a lot of Saharan dust out of there. I'm going to show you a future cast now. So moving forward, this is what we'll be watching. And first of all, just note that all across the area that we would expect to see some formations taking thick dust. But also for those of you along the Gulf Coast here, when we get into Monday and Tuesday at the beginning of next week, this dust is going to make it all the way here to the Houston area, to all the Gulf Coast area. So just something to kind of keep in mind as we're starting out in July. We could be having another one of those dusty sort of scenarios that we find ourselves in just a little bit. I just want to take a minute to remind you that my Hurricane Gear Test is a great way to use as a resource to prepare for hurricane season. And this is the time to prepare. When things are quiet, that's when you want to prepare. There's not long lines at the store to buy those non-perishable foods, to pick up on some batteries or something along those lines. And as I always like to remind you, you need to keep certain things around year-round anyway because of the possibility of there being some sort of unexpected emergency, a major sort of displacement of your routines that you're used to. So go to YouTube if you're not already there now. I know sometimes folks like to watch our tropical updates on YouTube, and search for meteorologist John Dawson in the search bar, or you could put in Hurricane Gear Test, either one of those ways. That's going to allow you to find my channel, and you're going to be able to have a playlist there of all the Hurricane Gear Tests. And it's a good opportunity for you to kind of review some things, maybe see some new things, get some fresh ideas, and kind of go through and make sure that you're prepared as we continue through this quieter part of the season. All right, always here every day of hurricane season, giving you the latest on the tropics. That'll do it for today. We'll have more Texas live and local coming up after the break.
Make sure you talk into your mic and pull it closer if you need to.
All right, Texas Live and Local. Lots of folks heading to Houston this weekend, Coco, to see Beyonce Knowles perform at NRG Stadium.
It's a big deal. If you got tickets, good for you.
Good for you. And if you're still looking for something to wear, how about you head over to Republic Boots? We've got now Ian Smith joining us to tell us about some of the things they've got going on. Ian, what's up, my man?
What's going on, guys? Happy to be here.
Glad for coming. Happy to come. Thanks for coming in. Okay, so you guys might see a boot on the screen.
It's actually the one that was on his foot just seconds ago.
Listen, you got to adapt and overcome. Sometimes you forget things. I just pull it off my foot and here we are, right?
But it's a great looking boot. It's a great looking boot.
All right, so if folks not familiar with Republic Boots, where are you guys at and just kind of the mission behind what you guys got going on?
Yeah, absolutely. So we are a Texas-based, it started off as a custom boot company, right? So we're located in the Heights. So from here downtown, I mean, or not downtown, but close, right? Mm-hmm. We're maybe 10, 15 minutes away. So we're 11th in Studewood, right? We've been there for about 3 years. We just celebrated our centennial anniversary for the building. The building turned 100 years old. Not long after that, we acquired the whole property where we're at now. So no longer leasing. Like, there's a lot of big things happening.
Growth happening.
We took over this partnership with the Texans cheerleaders. We're providing boots for them. There's just a lot of really great stuff. And what better place than to do it with a local Houston-based boot company on top of that, right?
Yes, and we've got Cowboy Carter, a lot of cowboys and cowgirls celebrating Beyonce.
I stopped in the store today. This was my day off, right? But I went in there, and we had people literally in there shopping because they're going to the concert this weekend.
Yeah,
it's been great.
And then I think Morgan Wallen was here earlier this week, too, last week. So I'm sure folks come in for that too.
Big uptick on that. Anytime there's a big concert at NRG or anywhere in the area, right? NRG, Toyota Center, wherever, if it's country related of any kind, we always see a massive uptick in business, and it's phenomenal. Saturday was crazy busy for us. Yeah. Just from 11 to 4, it was nonstop in the store.
Yeah, you don't have to wait until March till the rodeo hits.
You do not. Now, if you're doing custom boots, though, you want to get a head start. Custom boots take about 8 to 10 months, right? Like this boot here, this is a This is a custom boot. So when you're talking custom boots, that's a great segment there. When you're talking custom boots, that's where you sit in a chair, we measure your foot, we take a tracing, you go in our design room, you might stop by our bar, have a drink, that's up to you.
Nice.
We have a few fun things in our store, right?
Drink out of a boot.
I mean, we've seen people do worse, right? But I mean, it's a whole experience what we're offering, right? We're offering obviously great products, but it's an experience when you come in our store. Whether you're doing boots, a hat, jacket, shirt, whatever you're coming in for, you're gonna enjoy the experience.
And you can do that same kind of thing, like customization with the boots, with the hats as well, though, right?
Absolutely, absolutely. So this one here, right, like this is not a personalized hat. This is just one of our Republic branded. We have a private label for some of our hats, but we do have a hat bar in the store as well, right? Wow. So men, women, children, whoever, come in there and do all the embellishments. They might be playing cards, feathers. We can do branding on site, you know, beaded hat bands, ribbons. When you walk in, it's just as overwhelming, almost, right, as going into our design room to build a pair of boots, because there's just all these options that you get to choose from.
And they're one of a kind, though. At the end of the day, they're going to be your personal
You make it
design.
yours.
Can you do a starter custom boot? You know, some people are like, I don't want too much. I just want
You
something
can,
to get
right?
me going.
So something like this is going to be maybe for some people like, I don't know if I want all that, right? But if you start at a custom boot price, which is $1,800, right? That's going to be anything like calf skin, bison, and sometimes people are like, well, that's not exotic. Come to our store and see. Come to the store and see some of these wild boots that people design with us that are calf skin.
Boot animal?
Ooh, I mean, we have stingray, we have elephant, we have hippo, we have, look, this little piece on the back here. This is camel. Wow. Right, so we have.
Can I touch it?
Absolutely. It's soft. It's soft, right?
It is.
It's so soft.
I've never tested camel before.
You'd make a sleeping bag out of that.
Coco, you're funny, man.
No, you know you wouldn't test the camel.
I do too, but hey,
go ahead, pass it down. Pass it down.
Pass the
boot down, guys.
Test the camel.
These were just on his feet, by the way, a second ago.
Hey, but I showered this week, so we're good to go, guys.
We're
good to go this week, guys.
No, you could put your name on it. It says Ian on it.
Yes,
I love how it's really personal.
There's so much that you can do, guys. Like whether it's a Beyonce concert or it's a rodeo event next year or a cook-off event, or you just like boots or you want to get into boots, come by and see us. We're in the Heights, 11th and Studewood. You can personalize. You can put your company logo, your brand. There's sky's the limit, right?
All right, Ian, what's your website really quickly before we go?
It's going to be republicbootcompany.com.
Republicbootcompany.com. Ian, you're the man.
Thank you so much.
Absolutely. Happy to be here, guys.
In case you lose your boo, you got your name on it.
You know what? They'll know where to get it back to. They'll know where to get it back to.
Thank you so much.
Absolutely. Thank you guys so much.
All right, so giving deserving Texans a second chance. When it comes to finding jobs, Sean Robb with Fox 4 in Dallas has this week's Here and Now.
I want to introduce you to some folks who are really doing a great work at giving people an opportunity for a second chance at a career where they can take care of their lives with something called the South Dallas Driving Academy. With me now, the founder and executive director, Vaughn Miner, and the board chair, Chris Peterson. Thank you for being part of the Here and Now conversation. And Vaughn, let's start by you telling us, what is the South Dallas Driving Academy?
The South Dallas Driving Academy is an opportunity for those who live in underserved communities, an opportunity to get a Texas driver's license, and then the opportunity to leverage that driver's license into career pathway opportunities into the trucking industry with our second program, our commercial driver's license program. And both of these programs are accelerated. We have a 4-week program with our driver's license program in partnership with Dallas College in the city of Dallas. And then we have our commercial driver's license program that also is in partnership with the American Trucking Association and the city of Dallas and a bevy of employment partners.
Chris Peterson, board chair, tell me about this outreach to trucking industry partners that they've embraced what you all are doing in South Dallas.
There is a driver shortage, 80 to 100,000 drivers in our industry that these trucking companies are in need of. These are critical positions, professional careers with significant earning potential, and they're struggling to find drivers. And we're finding that 40% of the urban poor in this country do not have a valid driver's license. Well, if you don't have a valid driver's license, there's no way that you're going to be able to enter into a trucking academy and earn a CDL and tap into the professional living wage that can drive you out of poverty. We started looking at going, hey, here's an opportunity to bridge that gap between the need for a meaningful living wage and the need that we have in our industry and in our country for drivers to fill those roles, not just drivers, but technicians in every seat inside of the trucking industry. Trucking and transportation and supply chain touch some 70% of the workers in our country.
Is there a cost associated with me getting my Texas driver's license, or even part 2 of this, the CDL?
The beautiful thing about being a nonprofit is that there is no cost to the end user.
How can somebody watching, how can they apply to the South Dallas Driving Academy?
We've made it easy. So they can go to our website, South Dallas, well, really sddrivingacademy.org, and we have an application process, and they go through that application process. We reach out to all of our applicants, and we go from there. It's a very easy process.
And you guys are doing great work in helping people lift their lives. The South Dallas Driving Academy, a 4-week accelerated program to get your Class C Texas driver's license. And there's also the possibility to learn how to drive big rigs and have a career in the trucking industry, all phases of that. Chris Peterson and Vaughn Miner, thank you for what you're doing, driving opportunities for people across our community. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Sean. It's been an honor.
All right, it is that time of the week, and Chris Tritico is answering some of your legal questions.
We'll begin with John. He says, my apartment AC keeps freezing up. I have sent numerous emails to the management company in the last year. They keep sending maintenance men to fix it, but it only cools for at most 2 days. Is there anything I can do to force them to repair it quickly? I was going to ask if I could withhold my rent, but I felt like you would just tell me that I have a legal requirement to pay them, even though they are in the wrong. I'm not asking for extra. I just want what I'm paying for.
Well, you're right. I would have told you you got to pay. You've been watching. Look, part of the email that was edited out is you said that you keep your AC at 67 degrees. And I think that the issue here, because I learned this in college when I kept my AC very low, you've got it so cold that it can't cool, it can't warm up, and that's causing it to freeze. I think if you bring it up a few degrees, it won't freeze like that. And you need to work with them and bring it up a little bit, and you're probably not going to have that problem. I don't think the AC is malfunctioning. I just think you have it too cold for Houston's climate. Try that and see if that works. Now, with respect to it not working and malfunctioning, if it truly is malfunctioning, they have a legal duty to fix it. Your remedy under the Texas Property Code is to write them a demand letter, a 10-day letter. If they don't repair it in 10 days, you have the right to move out. That is your remedy. And if you don't wish to move, there is no other remedy under Texas law, okay? You cannot withhold rent. Good luck.
I have to put that air in the 70s sometimes.
That's right.
For sure.
That's right.
Next question. This one is from Catherine. Catherine, who writes, my daughter-in-law had a grandson in Colorado. They moved back to Texas about a year later. She had preeclampsia to save her life. They induced labor, but she didn't dilate all the way. They reached inside and pulled him out. He had never started walking and can hardly talk. At 5 or 6 years old, he had tests run, and they found the truth. He is 14 now and living in a home to care for him. Is there anything they can do about this? The doctors in Colorado messed that child up.
This is a sad story, and I'm terribly sorry that you've been going through this all these years. And I don't know anything about the law of the state of Colorado. I fear that the statute of limitations may have expired on this. You need to contact lawyers in the state of Colorado who can look over this for you and give you a legal opinion. In Texas, it may be too late, but I don't know about Colorado, okay? There are limitation periods on every case, every civil case. And those cases on medical malpractice cases in every state are very limited and very hard to get past. And so if that is run, then there's nothing you can do. The only thing that gives me some hope here is because your son is a minor. So you need to contact a lawyer in Colorado that handles medical malpractice, and you need to do it very quickly. Good luck.
Yeah, hopefully they get the help they need for sure. This final question is from Yasmin. Can a hospital make a child abuse claim even though they missed 6 fractures on a 7-week-old baby? The hospital said he was squeezed after previously doing a chest x-ray and physical exam and told the parents that the child was fine and x-ray was normal. It was 3 weeks later when the child was readmitted to the hospital, and they said they missed the fractures 3 to 4 weeks earlier and they were now healed.
Well, yes, is the answer to your question. They can, because a child that young, they can miss those fractures when they first examine the child, and then when you take him back and they're healed, yes is the answer. You need to contact the lawyer of your choice. If this claim has been made against you and charges have been filed, you need to contact the criminal defense attorney of your choice immediately, because the fact that they missed those the first time around is a defensive point for your lawyer to make for you. This does not mean that you did anything wrong, okay? The children of that tender age can get those fractures many, many ways. So contact a lawyer immediately and let them work with you on this, and don't despair. There's plenty of things for your lawyer to do for you here. Good luck.
All right. I always appreciate you, Chris.
You bet.
If you want to send us your legal questions, just head to our website, fox26houston.com. You'll find Chris's segments under the Morning News tab. And as always, for specific information and advice, contact an attorney of your choice.
Well, Beyonce is returning home. I know you've heard the buzz happening all week. How can you not? 2 shows this weekend at NRG, and the city's been buzzing for a while with everything from activations to food. We've got Felicia Drake here from Grooves, the owner. Thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you for having me.
Of course.
I love
Your
being
place,
here.
we like having
Yeah, come
we
on.
like
We
having
like all of this,
you
the whole
here.
situation.
Anytime. I'll be back tomorrow.
And your place is always buzzing with great concerts and people coming in. And lately it's because of that mural outside.
I mean, it's always been, but that mural has just taken it to another level. And not just the fact that for business, but they're out all times of day and night. I'll catch people on the cameras in the middle of the night.
She's watching.
Yesterday, someone came with a stripper pole.
Hey.
Oh, wow.
And do what you got to do, where you got to do it.
We all walked out of our manager's meeting and said, what is going on here?
Like this.
And listen, a whole crew, a work crew stopped in their orange vests and everything. They all got out of their car and stood there at the van, the work van, and stood and watched. It was like, what is going on?
You know what I mean? They're flocking to your business all hours of the day.
At night.
At night, right. What made you reach out to Devonna, like to even pick her to do that mural?
Well, I've been at Grooves for 14 years. I've been the owner there. And one of my former servers, Brittany, she reached out to me. She said, hey, you need to do this mural before the concert comes. Redo it. We had one there with Beyonce's eyes before, just the eyes. But it was a little obscure. People thought it was me. So it's like, well, like, we might need to redo this. So she reached out. Yeah. I said, I'm watching you. Those are my eyes. I'm watching. So she reached out to me and sent me her Instagram. And I was like, oh, my God, this girl is amazing. I reached out to her, and I'll be honest with you, I have never worked with anybody so wonderful. I mean, she is really, really good. Her work ethic is amazing.
You know, you guys have a lot of activation set up. They've got a mechanical bull.
Yes.
Like, you're really going cowboy party. Tell us about some of
that. And the costume contest. So where they're coming in, we're going to do the royalty contest, rodeo royalty, if I can get that out. And so best dressed that are coming in. I know we're going to see some of everything going. You mentioned that you were out there and you saw people coming as well.
Oh,
so
absolutely.
We're looking forward to all of the different outfits, everybody getting ready for the show. But as far as our food, we've pretty much renamed the entire menu.
Yeah, you
everything.
got a lot of it right here.
Everything.
Anthony, I say we start drinking.
Come on, cheers to that.
We don't have much time left in the
Let's
segment.
start with one of these drinks. What's this one?
That one is the Texas, the Honey Bee. That's the Honey Bee. Yes.
Okay, cheers.
That one's at the Sir Davis. So of course it's Beyonce's Sir Davis with lemon juice and agave.
Woo! 10 out of 10 out of 10 out of 10.
You gotta tell me all about it. Yeah,
we like that. Nice little balance.
That's nice. Let me see. I didn't taste it the first
A little
time.
more. All right. And what's this one over here? What's the
That one is our Texas Bunkin'. It's a little twist on a Moscow Mule. So ginger beer, certainly
Also
the Sir
with Sir
Davis
Davis.
and the lemon juice. Yep, just a twist on that one. Yeah.
That's nice. All right, tell us about some of this food because it looks amazing. I see lamb chops.
Exactly. So we've got the lamb chops, and actually today what we brought is a new one. We have our new seafood mac and cheese, crawfish and shrimp and crab. So that one's a new one, and it's delicious. We started it this weekend along with our lamb. We've been had the lamb. That's a popular dish. Yeah. Our pineapple bowl is a super popular dish. Just tropical fried rice and all the proteins. It's got the salmon, the grilled chicken, and shrimp.
I was about to say, you see this?
Yes. We will
do.
see more of it in a little bit.
Absolutely.
So is it 2,300 piers?
2,300
All right.
piers.
If you want to go take your pictures with the
Yes.
beautiful mural, if you want to show up, how long are you activated? The 27th through the 30th?
Through that Sunday. So we'll be there through Sunday, all the way through our final brunch at 7 p.m.
All right.
Yes.
Don't go in
Great
there with no
job.
assless chaps, though.
And what, they will do it.
Don't come in.
It's been done.
Okay. All right. Maybe
Show
you
up.
can.
No. All I ask is CYA. That's it.
Okay.
Everything else goes. Cover that behind, please.
All right. We'll be right back after this.
Literally.
All right, if you're looking for a nice little summer road trip, how about you hit the road and head over to Maple Falls and Sweetberry Farms. Here is Jenna King with more.
We're here in the gorgeous, gorgeous sunflower fields. You know, this is a sunflower season. Tell us a little bit about what you all have going on here at Sweetberry Farm.
Oh, awesome. Sunflower season is my favorite season. We're surrounded by these beautiful flowers for about 2 months, so we'll stay open till the end of June with some sunflower season. It's a $5 entrance to the sunflower field, and then you just pay for whatever flowers you pick. And of course, you don't have to pick any if you just want to be in the sunflower field. Totally optional.
Come and enjoy it. Can
Yes.
you talk to us about some of the different sunflower? I mean, it's gorgeous right here.
Yes, so right here we'll have a different variety. Every 4 rows we try to do a new variety so that you're not seeing just the same sunflower the whole way through. So we've got a different variety here, a different variety behind us, and even a different variety on the other side there. So there's lots to choose from. You won't just get a plain Jane bouquet whenever you pick at Sweetberry Farm.
I like it. So much to choose from. You can literally get lost in here and lost in the beauty, if you will. Can you kind of walk us through the process, how it might work if someone wants to come and pick their own bouquet, how that looks?
Yeah, let's walk it through it. So we've got the sunflower right here. I really like it. And whenever you're picking, you always want to
remember, I guess, how tall your vase is going to be.
Oh, that's a good tip.
So you never want to cut it too short. I always recommend cutting super long. That way, whenever you get home, it'll fit in whatever you have, right?
Great advice.
So we'll just go ahead and snip this guy pretty long. We're going to want to go at a 45-degree angle, so that way, whenever you get home, it'll soak up the most amount of water.
Perfect.
And super easy to do. Do you want to give it a go?
Even I can do it. Let's see.
Yeah.
Do you want to give it a go? Yes, and you picked a good one. Let's see if I can find as pretty of one as you did. Okay, so we go and we do our 45-degree angle.
Yes.
Ooh, got it. Look at that. Gorgeous. Oh my goodness. And then from that, you can make a fun, beautiful bouquet?
Yes, so after you get however many you want, bring them up to the counter and our staff will wrap them up for you.
Oh my goodness.
And make them into a really nice,
look at that, you guys.
something that you can enjoy for a while.
Oh my goodness. And you got a fresh bouquet for your home. How beautiful is that?
Exactly.
Oh my goodness. That is so much fun. And sunflowers, one of my favorites. So I'm really enjoying this. So much fun. You have so much else going on here too. Can you give a little background on what else you have going on here?
So we've got lots of kids activities to do. We have goats to feed and pet. We are a working farm, so there's always a tractor going on nearby. If you've got a kid at home that loves a tractor, this is their spot for
This is
sure.
the spot. Perfect place. Bring
Yes.
your family. Come and enjoy the beauty. Where can people find you guys?
So we're online, sweetberryfarm.com, or if you're into Facebook or Instagram, you can find us there too.
I love it. Here, I'll give you this. Look at, come and find them and enjoy this beautiful, beautiful bouquet. Thank you so much, Lacey.
Thanks.
Those are really nice.
All right. Thank you guys so much for joining us on Texas Live and Local. I'm Anthony Antoine.
I'm Coco Dominguez. And I mean, all the different cities throughout Texas. We
That's
sure
right.
appreciate you guys.
Bye.